Hello, beautiful friends, and welcome to Elemental Connections, where we are giving voice to the unseen realms of nature. Today, I have Jackie Stewart with me, and she is a soul alchemist and a flower essence practitioner. Welcome, Jackie.
Thanks, Layla. Thanks a lot for inviting me. I'm looking forward to us just talking about nature and beauty and love and connection and all the.
Yeah, me too, absolutely. And we were saying we weren't quite sure where this conversation was going to go. So it's kind of an exciting moment to see what wants to flow through us and just allowing both of ourselves to connect into the flowers. And actually, I feel in this moment like I kind of want to invite everybody to just take a moment to like drop into themselves. Are you happy for me just to sit and I might just, so I'm just going to invite all of us in this moment just to close our eyes and to connect to our breath and just to feel and receive your breath and to receive your body and to receive this space in this moment. And just open and invite in the energy of the flowers and the energy of nature. So just imagining as if you are supported and surrounded by flowers, by trees, by nature. And just allowing yourself, your body to connect energetically and emotionally with that imagining of nature and bringing it close into your heart. So just bringing that in, breathing it in. And when you're ready, just opening your eyes, just allowing ourselves to be present and to connect with the beauty that is present around us all the time. Oh.
I'm so glad you did that.
Thank you. I've been wanting to do that at the beginning. I've been wanting to drop in at the beginning of each interview and I haven't allowed it yet. So,
Because I think essentially what you just did is that beautiful reminder of the experience of nature, that we feel it, we sense it, we know it, and in many ways it's a wordless connection. It's quite hard to have a conversation about something that in a way doesn't have words. It is felt, it is known, it is deeply embodied. So that's just a really beautiful way to open up this dialogue, I think.
Yeah, pleasure. Yeah. So I'd love to hear a little bit from you about your connection with nature, how you personally experience nature and the flowers.
Yeah, nature's always been a really big part of my life, and I grew up in a really rural part of Scotland, and I'm sure my entire childhood wasn't spent playing in the woods, but that's how I remember it. And I remember like really from a very young age having particular flowers that were like my best buddies, and the relationships that I had with them felt as deep as my human relationships, because they were that animate and that real and that important, and just particular flowers that were real allies. And all of us have flower allies from when we're very young because we're so connected when we're little. And I think sort of throughout my whole life there's been a lot of things happened around ill health and sort of feeling very emotionally very vulnerable that made me reach out to nature again for it to connect with me and be an ally for me in the way that it was when I was little. And in my early 20s, I was really quite unwell, and I sort of physically with a lot of pain and a lot of migraines, and emotionally just really disconnected and really depressed. And I first sort of reached out for flower essences in my early 20s. So I've been taking flower essences for over 20 years. And just the love and the connection and that aliveness and opening that happens through essences was like a reminder of what I know through connecting with nature and what I've always known. And it also really got me curious about how we can support people emotionally and spiritually with these amazingly potent tools that carry the incredible love and support of nature within them. So I've been working with essences now for almost 20 years, and I'm now teaching other people to be practitioners, working with essences to hold sacred space for people, to open up to that way of receiving nature's energy through the essences.
Mm.
Wonderful, because we can't always get outside. You know,
Yeah.
life is busy, or you might not live somewhere where you can get access to nature. But with essences, you can always bring that green light of nature into your heart, like wherever you are. So yeah, I'm just really passionate about using essences, and particularly about sort of really opening up this conversation about how deeply they can heal us and how they can work on really deep trauma and really painful wounds and really connect us back in with our bodies so that we can be embodied and present and awakened through our hearts so that we can experience all that love and belonging and connection.
That's so beautiful. And how do you, for you, how do you understand that they work? Do you have an understanding of actually what the alchemical, like how it's all working, how the plants are actually working with us?
Sort of. I mean, I'm not like a sort of, I'm not very good at explaining concepts because I'm very much somebody who feels things.
Mm.
But it's this kind of sense that each plant has a particular vibration, it has a particular personality, it has particular qualities to offer us, you know, qualities that it embodies. And when we take it, it's like we have that potential within us, but sometimes we need to take the essence to awaken that potential. So we
Mm-hmm.
take the essence, you know, you take oak essence and you're filled with that, you know, real embodied resilience and ability to cope and that strength. You take something much more delicate and it fills you with like a delicacy and maybe a deeper connection to fairies or something less tangible. So there's so many realms of consciousness through which flowers can speak to us. And yeah, so it's like each time we take an essence, we are imbibing that energy, that quality that's ours anyway, because we're part of nature. We have all qualities and potential within us. But it's this direct experience of that energy, and we take the essence until we sort of become the flower. We reclaim the energy that was ours anyway, and it becomes just part of us. So
Mm-hmm.
if you know, really exhausted and didn't have energy and you took oak over a certain amount of time, you would then restore your energy and your resilience and you would be able to feel supported and be much more physically present.
That's so beautiful. So it really reminds us that we're not separate to nature, that we share these same qualities, that we share these same energies.
Yeah,
It's all
because
within us.
yeah, and like if we looked at all the qualities of soul that are available to us, you know, all these amazing qualities, regardless of whether that's expressed through a plant or a person, it's the same qualities of soul, you know, beauty and joy and oh, I can't think of other qualities, but just these essential qualities that are part of us. So yeah, connecting with nature and connecting with essences just yeah helps us to really embody and awaken all that is ours to live, you know. And I see that that's what life is about. It's feeling into what we're experiencing and the qualities that are seeking to be awakened within us so that we can just fully be alive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that we can fully be here to experience all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And crystal essences are particularly good for helping us to be really connected in our bodies and really aware of our physical presence.
Uh-huh.
Flowers probably speak a little bit more to our emotional and spiritual being. So bringing in both these aspects is a really powerful way to just really be here and connected, sort of feet on the ground, in the earth, connected to our bodies, really present and attentive to what's arising within us and deeply connected to spirit in a very embodied way that isn't floaty and airy fairy. It's intensely practical. It would be mad not to call on spiritual support, you know, really.
Yeah, and to call on that spiritual support from nature rather than, I mean, it's great to call on spiritual support from every layer, but we're here in physicality, aren't we? And we're here in matter. And so when we connect to spirit through matter, there's a deeper connection into earth, I feel, that happens.
Yeah, and we're here, we've got bodies this time round. We might not always have incarnated with human bodies, but we have, so we may as well get really comfortable with them. And a lot of people that I work with, you know, feel very ungrounded and disconnected from their bodies because they're super sensitive and they're very connected to other realms. And I think those of us who are sensitive and open can often, oh, there was a butterfly just came to say hello just at the window there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, those of us who are sensitive can really struggle with feeling at home in our bodies, but we need to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's where I really feel that's where kind of spirituality is at the moment. It's about embodiment, isn't it? It's about bringing down these higher energies into our physical form, and knowing that we're part of nature. We're not separate to nature. And I think a lot of the way we live now, it's become, for so many people, the experience of living on this planet is so disconnected. You know, living with Wi-Fi and living in the houses that we have and doing jobs that we don't enjoy. It's all just layer upon layer of disconnect from the beauty of nature and of this planet. And
yeah, just this real deep yearning that is within us that may not even be acknowledged, but there is this loss that we feel because we
yes,
don't have to live in connection with nature. And then as soon as we do something to connect, all is well again. You know, it puts something right within us
yeah,
because we have this need to be in living conversation with the natural world of which we are part.
mm,
Otherwise, we forget who we are.
I love that, those words, in living conversation. That's so beautiful, because there is this continual conversation going on all the time between each other, between everything that surrounds us. It's continual, and so that's what I feel the flower essences offer, that, or any kind of plant medicine like that, plant essences, they offer that doorway almost, or like a pathway. They open up what you couldn't feel before. It was always there, but what you couldn't feel.
Absolutely. And because I think flowers in particular really, we connect with them through our hearts. And I think a big part of this is, you know, it's learning how to be physically present. And that involves being really aware of ourselves and bringing our attention to what we're feeling in every moment.
Mm.
But also, this kind of the whole magic of flowers, I think, is about this heart opening that they bring about. And they meet our hearts, and if our hearts aren't open, it's usually because there's some pain or some trauma or something that's made us not feel safe to open. And flowers are such a beautiful way to invite us to open again and receive that connection to joy and beauty and love, and just that real sense of holding that we receive from them, when we just know we're not alone and everything's, all is well.
And as you're saying, I was just speaking, I just get this sense of like, oh, and they so want to support us. I've just seen the flowers just opening towards us, and they invite us in, don't they? They call us to smell them or look at them, and watch the bees come to them. They want to be with us. They want to connect with us. I feel
It's
like
that
it's,
living invitation, isn't it?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
make themselves more beautiful if they try. But
No.
we get so caught up in being busy and we don't notice and we don't pay attention. But then when we slow down enough and
Yeah,
pay attention, it's like, yeah, this is what I needed. And I didn't
yeah.
necessarily know this is what I needed, but suddenly this spaciousness and expansiveness can open up in our hearts.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that the invitation to slow down is such a crucial part of it. So that's how we meet nature, isn't it? We have to slow down and attune to that, to the frequency of nature, and that can't be done when we're really busy and full and hectic.
And busy
Yeah,
lives, it's so compelling. We get caught up in that reality where we're so busy, and it, because everybody seems to be doing it, it seems like that's what's normal, and it
yeah.
can feel like self-indulgent, or in some way that we're not allowed to just go and be slow and connect with nature. But it is such essential soul fuel. We have to.
It really is. It really is. I feel really calm. It's like, yeah, I really feel that energy. So I can feel another question around when you are making the essences. Yeah, what are you connecting? Do you make vibrational essences, or do you use the actual plant itself?
Um, Both. I'm Korean and I'm very earthy and grounded. So historically, most of the essences I've made have been with using cut plant material, like cutting bits of the plants, asking their permission and cutting the minimum
Mm.
flowers and putting them in water to make an essence. But more recently, I'm moving more into trusting enough that the physical plant doesn't need to be in the water. So I made the first essence that I've made in this way was this year with with not with physical plant material in the water. So it's capturing the vibration without the physical part of the plant needing to be in it. And when you're making essences, I think regardless of whether you're making it with physical material or a more intentional essence, like a lot of the channeled essences that are available now, the important thing is your intention and
Mm.
connecting with reverence to the spirit of what you're making the essence from, honoring it, connecting with the deva that holds the blueprint for that plant or that crystal, connecting with all its guides and helpers and nature spirits and fairies. And I always consciously call in the elementals and take a moment to feel their presence. And even Edward Bach, like 100 years ago, talked about how the elements were part of an essence. So it's not it's not out there to acknowledge that there are all these aspects to making an essence that are beyond physical. It's really a spiritual connection with the plant.
Yeah.
And then, you have this time connecting with the item you're making the essence from. And it is this day of connection and deep listening and listening to all the messages that come through. And it's that conversation,
Yeah.
and you're listening to what this plant or this crystal or this environment is telling you, and becoming a conduit so that you can receive its messages. And sometimes it comes and it's like spoken words, sometimes it's feelings in your body, sometimes it's images, symbols. It can be quite fast moving and quite like different kind of sensory information, almost like in dreams, the way it comes through. And it might not necessarily make logical sense at the time, but then you have this sort of patchwork that you put together afterwards, and it creates a picture of what was going on.
Mm. That's beautifully explained, and it's really important for people to know that that the communication we have with nature is not necessarily the way that you and I are connecting and communicating now. It can be felt or seen or sensed, or like you say, all these different ways that the information comes. And it's a journey into trusting what you're experiencing as being the truth.
Yeah, and that's so important, because I think, even though I've been working with essences for over 20 years, there's still times when I think, am I just making it up? Like,
Yeah.
like, I know I'm not, and I know I have these very real experiences, but it's almost like I forget, and then I doubt, like the way we're conditioned to trust our minds over our hearts kicks in, and I'm like, I can't do it. So it's really good to have these tangible experiences where if you make an essence or you have like a deep plant connection in some other way, you feel it in every cell of your being. Know it so deep, and you have that deep connection with that plant. It's like you've met a person that you've had a great conversation with. You're like, oh yeah, I know all about their hopes and their fears and their dreams and what makes them tick. You just know, and they know something of you too. There's this exchange.
Mm.
So it's lovely for people who are natural doubters like me. It's great to have these tangible experiences where you surrender all ideas about how it needs to be and turn your full embodied awareness to this connection with nature.
Mm. Mm. That's so beautiful, isn't it? It's just, it opens life out so much more. It gives us so much more, such a deeper experience of living here on this planet. And
yeah. And when you're saying that, it's like what I saw was this, as you said, this deeper experience. I was seeing like this opening out of this kind of whole 360-degree kind of awareness and this wider field of which we, within which we exist. And I think like if you could imagine a circle, it's almost like when we live just an everyday life, we're like this tiny little cube inside a massive big dome, and we start to kind of take the walls down off the cube by reaching out to nature, and then we sort of inhabit the whole dome that's filled with all this light. And yeah, everything just becomes so much bigger and brighter.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that explanation of that. It's really beautiful. Yeah, I really feel that. So, is there anything else you'd like to share that feels important to share with people about working with nature or working with essences?
I mean, the word that really sort of came to me before we connected was, well, it was kind of two words simultaneously. It's this quality of attention and awareness. And that when we go into nature mindfully and with reverence and with a view to connecting deeply rather than just walking through in a hurry and not noticing,
Mm-hmm.
quality of attention and awareness that drops us down into this really deep embodied space within us. And I think that what we're being offered is something that our souls really need, and it's something that, you know, when I've been reading over the last week, I've been reading a really good book about working with trauma, and by Peter Levine, and he was talking about the qualities of working with trauma are to have this attention and awareness, and to be able to bring our gentle, compassionate presence. You know, if we're working with somebody who's been traumatized,
Yeah.
thinking that if we are holding ourselves or the people in our lives, whether they're friends or whether they're people you work with therapeutically, with that same quality that we meet nature with, it's almost like this is what we're missing, and what nature is missing from us is for us to show up for all these interactions with other people, with nature, and bring that same attention and awareness and being present to what is there. And I think the more we do that in nature, the more it teaches us and awakens our capacity to offer that to other human beings. And I think that's so needed. I think so many of us get kind of caught up in our pain or our wounds or our patterns or our stories and can't see a way out. But when somebody is able to meet us with that real compassionate presence, in the way that nature meets us, just something very beautiful happens that I believe the world needs as part of our wakening up at the moment and our deepening into our heart centers. I think we need to practice offering that to ourselves and to others.
Oh, I so agree. And nature really does, when you tune in to nature, it really does meet you in that place, doesn't it? It opens, and then it opens, like you say, it opens that within us, and then we have that deeper ability to go and meet others from that space.
And
Yeah.
that's the language that nature speaks, and it's the language that is our birthright. But I think we've forgotten how to speak in that way, because it is like quite often a wordless communication.
Yeah, it's presence, isn't it? Being so present with somebody else. And again with nature, because there's that slowing down that needs to happen. It's like when we slow down and we meet somebody from that present place where we meet nature, it again deepens it deepens the connection, and that's what we're all yearning for, isn't it? And that's where the trauma is it's where that hasn't happened, where there's been such deep disconnect, such a deep level, that it needs that real deep, that deep meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Thank you.
That's the medicine that the world most needs, and part of it is giving ourselves permission to be slow and spacious, and not to be plugged into the story that we have to be busy all the time.
Yeah.
Or distracting ourselves all the time. You know, when we're not working, we're, you know, plugged into social media, or, you know, being busy having fun or doing something else that is filling all our time. And I think it takes courage to allow ourselves not to fill the time and create more wide open spaces to connect with nature and connect with each other.
Yeah, and with ourselves, isn't it? It's that, yeah. We're not taught about connecting with ourselves. No. It's all outward. Yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing that piece. It's just so important. I feel like for me that this is really important. It's like this is what speaks to me so loudly right now, creating that space and bringing this wisdom through, because it's so gentle and it's so simple. It's not complicated. There's a simplicity to it that is so powerful and gentle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know it, we recognize it. You know, when we
Yeah.
connect with nature in that way, there is this deep homecoming of the soul.
I feel that when you say that, there's a resonance on your voice when you say that. It's just, yeah, landing, homecoming. Yeah. I used to get those words for years just to welcome people home. You know, I just wanted to welcome everybody back to themselves and into the earth. And yeah, really resonate with those words.
It can feel hard living on the earth, and I think partly it's hard because we're not connecting into all the resources and support and love that is available to us.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've
Think
been,
we're alone with all our struggles, when in
yeah.
fact there's this amazing field of support in the way when you opened up the space, calling in that amazing support network that surrounds us. And when we feel that, we don't feel so alone, and we feel that we're held and anything's possible.
So true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. So is there anything that you're offering or doing at the moment? Have you got new projects on, or anything on your website people can receive if they sign up to any newsletters or anything?
Sign up to my newsletter and they get 6 steps to open your heart and connect with love, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but a couple of meditations as part of that process, guided meditations. And the one on the last day is to connect in the energy of a flower that has the soul medicine you most need.
Oh, yummy.
People sign up to that and they can make it through to day 6 of the emails. There is that connection, which is really lovely. And people often email me and say, oh, I got this flower and I've just Googled what it's all about and it's so perfect. And yeah, so it's exactly, we know what we need. We know.
Oh, I love that you do that way. That's so beautiful, because I love it when practitioners or people that work with people empower the other person, you know, to find their own answers. I love that.
Yeah. So people can sign up to that at flowerspirit.co.uk.
And I'll leave a link under the video.
And then I'll be able to keep people updated about workshops and online things. I'm being told that I need to teach these flower spirit initiations to help people connect with the spirit of the plants and to take the essence. And I'm sort of at the moment in this place of downloading some of the teachings by taking the essences myself, and it's all in the ether. So that will
Ooh.
be live at the start of next year.
Oh, that sounds really exciting. Yeah,
Mm.
beautiful. Oh, thank you so much for coming into this space and sharing your beautiful, gentle, loving energy with everybody. It's really, yeah, it's really beautiful.
Oh, and thank you for inviting me and just holding such a lovely, heartfelt space of connection. It's lovely.
Oh, my pleasure. Okay, so thank you everybody for watching, and I will leave the link to Jackie's website below and invite you to go and journey with the flowers and the plants, and yeah, enjoy your healing journey. So much love to you, and if you would like to find out more about what I'm doing, you can find me at livingnaturesessence.com, and I will see you again soon. So much love. Thank you.